What's going on, Don Brown, sales and dare I say opportunity team, right? So Sean Kelley, the Carbis coach, and I'm hanging out with Reid Richards. So I just had an awesome couple days of coaching your dealership. Some of you guys were off work, some of you guys were out. Well, bottom line is this: Michelle and I just got off a call, and we want to make sure you guys get some awesome training on two things. Number one, how to set more appointments. That's number one. And number two, how to get more of your appointments to show up. So we're going to talk about those two buckets. And Reid and I are going to read, basically, mostly Reid. I'm just going to ask questions and be the customer because he is the true professional when it comes to appointment setting and appointment show percentages. But I'm going to be the customer. We're going to give you guys 3 tips on both of those buckets. When it comes to setting more appointments, we're going to talk about number one, how to create professional urgency, how to get more contacts, how to create flexibility, and how to funnel for an appointment. And then also when it comes to increasing your show rate, we're going to talk about setting solid appointments that are more likely to show, how to mentally drive the customer to your location, and then also the importance of selling it in writing. So we're going to discuss those 3 things. And then afterwards, you guys are going to have a little activity. You're going to go role play with your peers or with Michelle. Bottom line is this: you're going to be tested for competency on these skills. So this training you will be tested on. It is not optional. And bottom line is this: it's going to help you achieve your appointment setting goals, and it's going to help the entire dealership succeed. So Reid, is this a topic? Why now you're so good at this? Why are you so passionate about this topic?
As far as setting the solid appointment?
Yeah, and getting more of them to show. And
Well, because I mean, if they don't show up, you can't sell them a car, right?
yeah, it's true. It's not like they can download a car through the phone or the internet.
Well, not only that, but if you're going to sit there and spend all this time and all this money trying to focus on getting these customers through the door, and then you set an appointment and they don't show up, well, what was all that time and energy for?
Right. I mean, you're calling customers you're trying to get, or the whole point of getting a lead, an opportunity, right, is to get a hold of that customer. So we spend a lot of time behind the phones, and if we're doing our jobs right, we're spending, heck, all of our free time should be trying to get a hold of customers. And then you're right. And then when we do, why do it halfway?
Yep.
I mean, anything worth doing is worth doing 100% of the way, right? So great point, Reid. Great point. So let me ask you this. Let's talk about more context first. If what are just 1 or 2 practical and tactical things that the Don Brown sales team, or any sales team for that matter, can use to make more contacts?
Well, the time of call is very important when you're going to call the customer. There's a lead response management study out there that went over MIT, Yahoo, and Polk had done, and it researched 15,000 leads, multiple dealerships over a period of time, and they found that when the best time is to call, not only when the best time is to call, how fast you have to be as far as response time, not only that, but at what day is best to contact also. So, I take that with a little bit of common sense. Typically, average customer or person works from 9 to 5, between the hours of 8 and 10, and 4 to 6 is when statistically is the best time to make contact. So if I have a lead and it comes in at 11:15 and I make the call, well, I'm definitely going to make sure that I set up a future follow-up task to call between the hours of 4 and 6, since it increases my odds of chance of contact.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is that as these guys are making their calls, if they're not calling a customer between 4 and 6 p.m. the first time around, that it's really important that they call again later that day between 4 and 6. And if they do that, what do you think their contact ratio, how much does it increase?
Well, your engagement should be somewhere close to 65 to 75% of all the leads that you receive.
Gotcha. So bottom line, if you're not getting a hold of enough customers, look and see when you're calling them, because if you're not following up so you need to call them right away, go for that instant contact, right? As soon as they submit the lead. But then if you don't get a hold of them right away, follow up with that call between 4 and 6, right? And
correct.
Awesome.
Or if you call them at, say 7:00 p.m. and you don't get a hold of them, well, then you should establish another phone call task for the morning between 8 and 10.
Yeah, right. You know, it's funny how many people will answer their call at about 8:30 on their trip into work, right?
Well, for sure, 8 to 9 is the one of the second best hours of calling between after 4 to 5.
And remember, for the Don Brown team, I did my workshop with you guys on get engagement by getting engaged to your customers. And one of the things we also talked about as it relates to that is using all the channels to connect with your customers. Meaning, just because they don't answer the phone doesn't mean they don't. It's not a good lead. Doesn't mean they don't want to talk to you. It just means they're busy. They're coaching someone. They're doing a webinar. They can't answer the phone. So text them and email them as well, and find them on social media. Send them a message on Facebook. So Reid, you know, the vast majority of this training is going to be all about the message, right? And you're big on delivering the message. So let's talk about that. What messaging creates professional urgency? So let's hear what that sounds like, and then we can and tell us why it's so important, and then we'll role play that out.
Well, first and foremost, it's, I'd be happy to assist you with that, but we've had a lot of response to that vehicle, and I'm not too sure if it's still available.
Okay.
That line right there creates, it's a takeaway. It creates the urgency in the customer to provide you with the information that you need. And also the fact that, this customer national average says that the customer spent 15 hours online looking for this specific car. And then all of a sudden here you are telling them that, so other people are interested in that car too, and it might not be available.
Yeah, we've had a lot of interest on that particular vehicle lately. So that's a great point. And when, there's almost like that feeling of like, oh, let down, right? Like they're
For
like, oh,
sure.
and then what happens when all of a sudden you say, oh, great news. It
creates suspense for sure.
Yeah, there's that suspense, and it's almost like a reward that it's still there and they can come see it.
Exactly.
So I could see how that would drive, and think about people act on emotion and excitement. That's where you get that knee-jerk reaction where they say, okay, yes, I'll do it.
Yeah. It definitely gets them to come faster.
Too.
I mean, do you want to go to the restaurant where there's one car, or do you want to go to the restaurant where there's 20 cars?
Well, and I think that ties into flexibility, and we'll talk about that in just a second.
Yeah.
Now, before we do you want to role play out the professional urgency, how it sounds in the script?
Yeah, no problem. I can assist you with that.
So you're calling an unappointed internet lead.
Yeah, no problem. Hi, may I speak with Sean?
This is Sean. Who's that?
Hey, Sean. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Yeah, but I can talk for a sec. Who are you?
Oh, perfect. Well, my name is Reid Richards. I'm the customer care director over here at Don Brown Chevrolet. I noticed that you made a request on the 2019 Chevy Malibu. Just had a few quick questions, make sure I provide you with the most accurate information. Now, by the way, were you calling in regards to our inventory reduction sale we've got going on?
Inventory reduction sale? No.
Oh, well, you inquired at a great time, and we've had a lot of response to our sale, so I thought that might be why you were calling. Now, in regards to the 17 Malibu, I cannot believe the response we've had on that vehicle, and I'm not too sure if it's still available. The last thing I want to do, Sean, is waste your time. It'll take me about 10 to 15 minutes to check with my manager on it. Is this the best number to reach you at?
Yes.
Awesome.
314-323-8234.
Perfect. And that right there is how you create the professional urgency.
What's interesting too, as you were going through that with me, I heard several other things that create urgency. For instance, you said, are you calling about our inventory reduction sale?
Yes.
Everyone knows that sales only last a certain amount of time.
Correct.
And that right there, could also, I think, create some professional urgency. And then now, interesting though, you said, well, I'm going to check with my manager and that'll take me about 10 or 15 minutes. I mean, you're saying that and then you're asking for my number. What's going on there? Because it sounds like you're doing the opposite of urgency.
Yes. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to set you up for flexibility. So you've spent 15 hours online. Clearly, we're having an inventory reduction sale. We've had a great response. Your car that you're looking for might not be available. So here, now, while I'm checking on that specific vehicle, are you only looking for that, or would you consider something similar with a little bit of miles on it if I could save you some money?
I sure would. Now, what are we doing here? Because now we're moving away from urgency and we're moving into creating flexibility. Guys,
correct.
This is Don Brown people. This is the second thing you're going to need to do if you're going to set more appointments. You're going to need to create flexibility. Reid, why is this so important?
Well, because the number one rejector is limited vehicle availability.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have the car, they're not coming. And if you do have the car, well, again, you want to create the flexibility, or you want to create, first and foremost, the professional urgency, and secondly, the flexibility, because when you eliminate the number one rejector, which is limited vehicle availability, you then eliminate the other 4 rejectors, which are price, payment, down payment, and trade-in. Because at this point in time, what they were prepared to ask you for was the vehicle available and what's the best price. Price no longer matters, because now they're flexible and they're on multiple cars, and now they're thinking, I have a great availability to choose from. I need to come out and I need to see them and drive them, and clearly you're having a sale, you're going to save me some money, and I need to be urgent and act fast on this, because you're again, the car that I originally wanted, it still might be available, but with your sale going on, there's a lot of people that are coming out to this situation, and that might not be available when I get there, or might be something I might not choose. I might choose something else. And I'm glad to hear that you have a great availability of vehicles equipped the way that I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny. So I went to a slightly different school of phones, but
Yep.
the way we would do that would be, along with the X car, what other makes and models are you considering?
Right.
And then they would almost always tell you 2 or 3 others, and then you'd say, oh, well, I'll check and see if we have those available too. And the best thing was when you could come back to that customer and say, oh, we've got 4 of those, just like, and the other ones you're looking at, we got some of those. And next thing you know, the customer's like, you're right. It totally takes them off price and all the other things. By the way, all the best scripts that I've ever heard, and most 99.9% of them come from you, they all have one thing in common, and that's that they're asking questions throughout the whole thing. The person who's, well, what's going on there? How come all the best scripts, the person at the dealership, the salesperson's asking the questions?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Sean. Why do you think that is true? Why?
Beat you to it. You answer it.
Well, right. Well, who is controlling this conversation at this point in time?
You are, because you just asked me a question.
Exactly. So whoever asked the questions in control of the conversation. And why does that matter?
Because that way you can keep the customer moving through your process, and we can end up funneling them into appointment, which is what we're going to talk about next.
Also, but also there's another key point here that's more scientific, is that people only talk for one reason. What is that, Sean?
They want to feel important.
Exactly. To make themselves feel important. So when you ask the question, who's talking?
The other person.
The customer.
You're making them feel important.
Which makes them feel important.
Yep.
Which
so
then.
So basically, guys, if you want to be in control, you want your customer to feel important, and really want to spend time with you, questions is the only way to go. So if your customers are bombarding you with questions and you're answering them, you're not going to be very successful on the phones. You're not going to be very successful on the internet leads. Is it safe to say, Reid?
It is. And the best way to overcome when a customer's asking you questions, because clearly that's why they call and that's why they submit an internet lead, is because they want to know, first and foremost, is it available? And then again, what's the best price? Well, nobody can overcome price. You just can't do it. Availability, if it's sold, well, how can you overcome that if you haven't created a reason and benefit in the mind of the customer for them to want to be flexible?
That's right. That's right. And we have some really good power phrases to help overcome some of those objections. But guys, that's for a different training session. This one's all about setting more appointments and getting more of the appointments to show.
For sure.
So let's go ahead and take this conversation about questions into funneling, Reid.
Yes.
So what exactly is funneling?
Well, let me ask you, what do you want for lunch tomorrow, Sean?
Lobster and so definitely lobster, and I'll take a Dom Perignon $500 bottle of wine.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, well, go ask your wife what she wants for lunch tomorrow. What is she going to say?
Well, she's either going to pick Burger King or White Castles.
Oh, really? She has a choice?
Yeah. I'm going to say, what would you like for lunch tomorrow? Burger King or White Castles? Well,
you're going to give her the option, though. No, but if you just asked her an open-ended question, typically people are going to take the path of least resistance. I'm sure everybody here that's watching this video has had a girlfriend or a boyfriend that they've asked, what do you want for lunch tomorrow? What do you want for dinner? And the other significant party says, I don't know, not sure.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah, and no matter what I say, it's never what she wants.
No, because then she's going to say something back to you and be like, well, no, what do you want? And then
Well,
you're gonna be like, I
I said
don't know,
lobster. She hates seafood.
what do you want? And then
Yeah.
and it's just, it's a time sensitive situation, and I want to respect the customer's time and my time, because I have a pace that I have to maintain to achieve the goals that I'm trying to achieve. And if I'm sitting here leaving out an open-ended question like, when do you want to come in? Well, it's like going to a Chinese restaurant or any restaurant that has 60 pages on the menu, and you get lost in what you want because there's so many options. So the funneling is the A-B situation. So, hey, Sean, does right now or later today work best for you?
Later today.
Later today. Okay. Were you thinking like 3:15, or would 4:45 work better for you?
Let's do 3:15 actually.
All right. 3:15. Great. Now, do you know where we're located?
We are, I think you're in South St. Louis, right? Somewhere near the hill. I saw that Mr. Brown on TV in his commercials, he talks about the hill.
Perfect. Well, I have some important information for you, Sean. Do you have a paper and pen handy? Awesome. Well, please write this down. My name is Reid, R-E-I-D, and my last name is Richards.
By the way, for the record, when you guys, we're going to talk about that in just a second, about the paper and pencil thing. Now, I want to point one other thing out too, Reid, as it relates to funneling the appointment. Guys, do you know when Reid says funneling, you notice what he did there, right? He gave, like you said, an A and a B option. All right. He said, do you want to come in right now or later today? And then I said later today. And then he gave me two more options, 3:15 or 4:45. And then I said 3:15. See, he's giving me, you guys, he's making it easy for me. He's giving me the path of least resistance. Every professional card trick, they say, do you want to pick this side of the deck or that side of the deck? Bottom line, you're picking from the deck. You're going into that trick no matter what. It's their solution. At the end of the call, you're always going to end up on an appointment. If you say, would you like to come down? What are the possible answers? It's yes or no appointment.
Maybe, let me think about it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me check my schedule. As a matter of fact, I need to talk to my wife about it. I mean, that gives a customer an opportunity to start thinking about excuses of why they can't come.
Yes, if you make it easier for them to say no to you, they're more likely to say no to you. And Reid, when they do get a weird, because not everyone can come in right now or this evening. So like, let's say it's the evening and there's an hour left in like, let's say it's one of those 5:30 p.m. calls and they get a hold of a customer later and it's too late for the customer to come in. What funnel options, what does that sound like? And if the options you give them don't work, what happens? Let's role play that out.
Yeah, no problem. So were you thinking Saturday or Monday work better for you?
I can't, neither of those days work for me, actually.
Well, no problem. You know your schedule better than I do. When works best for you?
I could do Wednesday.
Perfect. Were you thinking morning or afternoon?
Afternoon.
Okay. And so I'm thinking like 3:15 or 4:45 work better for you?
3:15.
Awesome. So 3:15 works.
So I love the little pattern interrupt there. You know your schedule better than I do. What works, and you still go into a funneling right away.
But you can keep saying no to me if you'd like.
Yeah, I could keep saying no.
So does Saturday or Monday work best for you?
I'm not going to be out of town.
Okay, so you know your schedule better than I do. When works best for you?
How about I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check my schedule.
No problem, Sean. So what I want to do is, with our inventory reduction sale going on, we've been super busy. So what I'm going to do is schedule you a VIP appointment so you can meet directly with my sales manager. And what that'll do for you, Sean, is it'll get you in and out quickly, and it'll also get you the best deal. That doesn't sound too bad, does it?
Sounds awesome.
Great. So were you thinking Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday morning or afternoon?
Afternoon.
Perfect. 3:15 or 4:45 work best for you?
Very nicely done. 4:45. So
Awesome.
You guys see what Reid just did there. He set up a situation where the customer said no, and then he built more value in coming to see the dealership, because I get a VIP appointment to meet with the manager. It's going to save me time and money. And when would you like to come in, here or here? And he went right back.
Yes, and the best time to get an agreement is right after you got one. How could anybody deny that isn't an agreeable situation for them to come in and get taken care of quickly and also get the best deal?
You're saving me time and money.
Who's going to say no to that?
Right. So you're creating, it's almost like a hypnosis where, it's like asking yes questions. Like, that sounds great, doesn't it? And I have to say yes. And then you ask me another question that's going to lead to a yes. See, guys, this is advanced phone scripting and psychology. So this is the stuff that you guys, to really succeed and truly exceed, reach your fullest potential, you've got to master. You have to be so good at this, not just that so you can get it right sometimes, you have to be so good at this that you can't get it wrong. And that's what we're going to help you do. You're going to watch this training video. You're going to go back and role play. Now, let's dive into show rate and spend about a few minutes on that, Reid. So let's talk about setting. You said 3 ways. Number 1 is setting a solid appointment. Tell me more about that.
Well, setting the solid appointment, there was 3 things inside the solid appointment that we're talking about. First and foremost is getting them to write it down.
Okay.
If it wasn't written, it wasn't done. We all know that by writing it down creates retention.
Yep.
So once they write it down, that again solidifies the appointment. Mm-hmm. Then after that, I'm going to mentally drive you to the dealership. So Sean, now are you familiar with where we're located?
Yeah, you're at the entrance to the hill, right?
Yeah, right next door to right off the interstate there, off of 70, is it?
44,
excuse me. Yeah, where the big American flag is. Yeah, right on the left side next to, is there a Burger King or Wendy's across the street, I think?
I forget.
You know, and just, you know, again, you have to bring up some landmarks that are in the area so you can start getting them to mentally picture it. So just think about this, Sean. Think about this real quick. Your house burning.
Sounds terrible.
An elephant.
Yep.
So you saw that stuff in your head, right?
Sure did, yeah.
Yeah, so you immediately start to make this mental picture. So I want this mental picture in your head that you're driving to the dealership, that you're mentally picturing the dealership, where the location is. And so when you get here, Sean, I want you to walk right into the showroom floor and ask for Keith. He'll be expecting you and work with you personally to make sure that you receive the best deal and get in and out of here as quickly as possible. Okay.
Now these guys, obviously, they're setting the appointment for themselves, right?
So, well, okay, for who? Yeah, that's fine.
So let's just say it's Dylan. We'll use Dylan. Dylan, what's up, man? Let's use Dylan as an example.
No problem, Dylan. My name is Dylan. You know, like, you know, James Dylan. Yeah, Dylan. There was a famous Western.
I was gonna say like Dill Pickles, you know?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna get him to remember my name. For me, it's Reid Richards. I'm Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So when you get here, just ask for me. I'll be actually at the door waiting for you anyway. I'll be in a suit. You know, I might explain what I'll be wearing that day, or if it be for the same day. And I'll be. What are you planning on driving in on? So I know when you come in, I'll know that you're there. I'll have your car up front and ready for you. Huh?
Yeah, that's smart.
I
love everything you're doing. You're painting a picture. You're mentally walking me through, not just driving to the dealership, but walking up and looking for you. And
not only that, but Sean, now that you have that important information all written down, why don't you just go ahead and fold that up, put it in your pocket, so when you get here, you can pull it out just in case you forget my name. Okay.
You got it. Sounds great.
Yep.
Yeah. And for the record, earlier when Reid role played and I role played it out, and he said, grab a pen and paper, I'll hold. And I just held up a pen and paper. Now, what usually happens on a call?
Oh, well, no, I don't have a pen. Oh, yeah. So, hey, Sean, no problem. That'll work perfect. Now I have some important information for you. Do you have a pen and paper handy?
No.
No problem. I'll wait.
And then you'll hear, okay, I'm ready.
Or you'll hear, I'm driving.
Yeah. Okay. And what do they do then?
No problem, sir. Pull over.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you know what? No problem. Is what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send you an email confirmation anyway. Should I send that to your personal or work?
Yeah, go ahead and send it to my work.
Okay, perfect. And that email address is?
It's Sean, SEAN at carmotivators.com.
Perfect. So it's going to have my name. It's going to have my number. It's going to have my address, how to get here. And then so when you get here, of course, you'll have all that information to get, to click on your phone. I'll also text over the address too. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Please send that over. And guys, check this out. Literally, it's so easy to, and by the way, never set an appointment. Reid, there was something you pointed out there that I want to make sure that these guys understand, this little nuance that can make a big difference for appointment shows.
Yes.
Why do you never set an appointment? All the appointments that you've asked for when you're funneling are always 3:15 or 4:45. Why?
Well, okay, so statistically, a north to south appointment, which is either a 00 or a 30, is always as far as the croc brain goes, the customer or the person thinks that, when they say 12:30, it means 12:30 to 1, or they just don't. It doesn't stick well with in the mindset of the customer. So the average appointment that's set on the north to south is a 44% show ratio. Now, just by creating the east to west, by picking it out, by identifying it and making it, on a 15 to 45 time zone, it increases the show rate by 22% to 66%. So I definitely make sure that when I'm scheduling an appointment, that I schedule it east to west, because all the dealerships that I do and that I work with that do east to west, their show ratio is typically in the 65 to 75% range. The ones that I don't do have a 55, 56, sometimes 45% show rate.
That's pretty huge. And guys, remember, when you need to log that appointment in VIN Solutions, that way Michelle or you can confirm it, because confirmed appointments are significantly more likely to show. And by the way, don't just stop there. Guys, when you set an appointment, this is like your biggest opportunity. So it's so important that you take that a step further. And this is 2020, guys. Pull up your desk calendar and literally create an appointment. Look at this. I'm sending a calendar invite to Reid right now. Okay, I'm going to do your Gmail right now. Hold on one second. Reid has like 75 emails. There we
174.
But yeah. It's awesome. All right, hold on. And I'm going to add a location just so they can see what that looks like.
Don Brown.
So
yeah, it's nice. It automatically loads it right there. I love that.
There. So send.
Yeah,
so that right there will, I don't know how many more appointments show, but if they get that, it's going to remind them automatically.
Sean, I also have another little trick that I learned from cars.com a couple of years ago.
What is it?
Text the customer a picture of the car that they're planning on coming in and seeing. Because what happens is then they start showing it to their friends, and they start looking at it, and they increase mental ownership before they even get there. And it's statistically proven that it increases your show ratio by another 22%.
That's strong.
And, I know.
And if you're
hey, Sean, check out my new car. I'm going to go take a look at it tonight.
Yeah,
hey, and then they send it over to their husband or wife. Hey, this is the car we're going to go look at.
And if you're going to send a picture, you might as well send a video too, right?
This is my car. Yes.
Yeah. Appointment confirmation video to introduce yourself. Powerful.
Why wouldn't you? Yep.
Yeah.
Personalize it whenever you can.
So guys, listen, we've talked about two distinct areas, right? How to create more appointments and how to get more of them to show up. So Reid, let's go ahead and take a call from start to finish. And I want you guys to pay close attention again to how Reid creates professional urgency, flexibility, and funnels, while he also sets a solid appointment by mentally driving me there, selling it in writing, and repeating the appointment times enough where I could never forget it. All right, so go ahead, Reid. Let's take it from start to finish.
Are you an internet leader at Inbound Phone Up?
Internet lead. Yep, we're doing outbounds.
Yeah, hi. May I speak with Sean, please?
This is Sean. Who's this?
Hey, Sean, this is Reid Richards with Don Brown Chevrolet. It looks like here that you are interested in the 2019 Chevy Malibu. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Awesome. Well, I did receive your inquiry and just wanted to make sure I provide you with the most accurate information. Now, by the way, Sean, are you calling about our inventory reduction sale?
No, what is that all about?
Oh, well, right now we're having our inventory reduction sale, and we've had a great response. And I thought that might be why you're calling. Now, I know for a fact that 19 Malibu, I apologize. I know we've had a lot of response to that vehicle, and I'm not too sure if it's still available. The last thing I want to do, Sean, is waste your time. It'll probably take me about 10 to 15 minutes to check the status on it. What's the best number to reach you at? Your homework or your cell?
My cell.
And that number is?
314-323-8234.
Perfect. And if I can't reach you at that, what's the next best number to reach you at? Your home or your work?
My work number.
And that number is?
888-921-0221.
Perfect. Awesome. And now, you know what, Sean? during our inventory reduction sale, we've had a lot of new vehicles come in that haven't made it online yet. I think we've brought in 3 to 4 truckloads. While I'm checking on that specific vehicle for you, are you only looking for the 19 Malibu, or would you consider something similar with a little bit of miles on it if I could save you some money?
Yeah, I'd be open to that.
Perfect. Are you looking for what models are you leaning towards?
I like the Chevy Trax and the Chevy Cruze and maybe even Silverados. I'm kicking that around.
Oh, perfect. Now, are you looking for a moderately equipped or well equipped?
Well equipped.
Perfect. And a lighter color, darker color?
I like darker.
Awesome. Are you thinking cloth or leather?
Probably leather.
Hey, Sean, you know what? Matter of fact, I see my sales manager. Let me see if I can get that information for you right now. Can you please hold?
Sure.
Hey, Sean, great news. Thanks for holding. I apologize. Great news. The vehicle that you're interested in is still available. And right now we do have a great availability of vehicles equipped the way we discussed. When are you more available to come take a look at all of them? Would right now or later today work best?
Let's do later today.
Later today? Perfect. Were you thinking 3:15 or would 4:45 work better for you?
Let's do 4:45.
4:45. Awesome. Now I have some important information, Sean. Do you have a pen and paper handy?
No.
No? Okay, well, I'll wait.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, awesome. Well, please write this down. Again, my name is Reid, R-E-I-D, and the last name is Richards. I have you scheduled to come in today at 4:45 to meet directly with me. I'll be here personally to assist you to make sure that you get in and out quickly and also get the best deal. Now, you're familiar with where we're located, aren't you?
Yeah, I always see down on the TV at the entrance of the hill, right?
Yeah, right off of 44. Yeah. So when you get here, just walk right in the showroom floor and ask for me. I'll be waiting there personally to assist you. And also, I'll send you over an email confirmation. Should I send that to your personal or work?
Send that to my work.
Okay, perfect. And that email address is?
Sean, SEAN at carmotivators.com.
Awesome. Now, if you can't make it, please let me know, okay? Because I'll be waiting for you. You do that for me, wouldn't you, Sean?
Yes, I will.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing you today at 4:45.
Fantastic. Nice.
Awesome. Thank you, Sean. Have a great day.
All right, guys, give Reid a round of applause. Nice job, Reid. They're clapping, Reid. They're clapping. In the future, it's Saturday.
That's good, though.
By the
It's
way,
Friday.
how awesome is that it's Friday night and we get to do this for a living? Like, isn't that the best thing ever?
Yes, it's awesome, Sean. I love doing this.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, I do. I do love doing it. I love mastering my job.
He really does. He loves helping you guys. He loves giving you guys some training. So listen, Don Brown team, you guys are going to grab that workbook page. Okay, answer the questions on that workbook page properly. Okay, and then go ahead and use the talk tracks at the bottom to role play out with each other. And then you're going to, when you're ready, and you can do it without your cheat sheet, you're going to need to go to Michelle. She's going to role play it with you. She's going to hear you. She's going to test you for competency. And when you've got these down, guess what's going to happen to your paycheck? It's going to go up. It's that simple.
If I had money, I'd throw it up in the air right now. Make it rain.
Make it rain. But you know what?
Yep.
I have darts. Maybe should I throw these up?
No, let's not do that, Sean.
That would not be safe. All right,
That'd be
Don
like-
Brown. Hey, listen, you guys keep up the great work. You rock. Reid and I are both here for you if you need anything.
Yes, sir.
We look forward to our next round of coaching calls later this month.
Awesome.
Thanks, Reid. See you guys.
Yep, have a great day.